Men today don't lose their appeal because they are less attractive, but because they weaken themselves. They seek validation, kneel before women, fear losing a relationship, and then wonder why they are not respected. But the truth is, women don't lose interest randomly. They react to how you behave. If you feel like you're being treated as a backup option, if you've ever found yourself being overlooked despite giving your best, chances are you're making one of these mistakes. And as long as you continue, you'll always be in a lower position in women's eyes. But don't worry. This video will show you 5 things men should never do with women. And more importantly, how to regain your respect, attraction, and power. If you feel the positive energy, don't forget to like this video and share a meaningful comment. Do you know what makes women lose interest in a man the fastest? It's not looks, it's not money, it's desperation, the stench of constantly seeking validation. Imagine this, you're texting a girl. She doesn't reply immediately, and panic sets in. Did I say something wrong? Is she bored of me? Or is she texting someone else? So you send another message, then another. Or maybe you try to act busy by posting something on social media, hoping she'll see it and respond, but she doesn't. You start feeling uneasy, insecure, and when she finally replies, you breathe a sigh of relief like you just escaped a nightmare. Sound familiar? That's validation-seeking behavior, and it's killing your attraction. Women don't want to reassure a man. They don't want to play the role of a mother soothing your insecurities. A truly strong man doesn't need anyone to tell him he's valuable. He knows it from the start. Attractive men don't sit around waiting for texts. They don't panic when a woman acts distant. They don't need to hear, "I still like you," to feel okay. They have their own lives, and they focus on more important things: goals, passions, personal growth. A woman may enter their life, but she is not the center of it. If you want to maintain attraction, stop begging for validation. Stop asking if she likes you. Stop worrying about her reactions. Stop playing the "am I good enough" game. Instead of seeking validation, give validation to yourself. Believe in your own worth. If she values you, great. If not, you're still fine. Because a real man doesn't need anyone's permission to shine. He decides that for himself. There's a lie that society has drilled into men's heads for decades. Treat a woman like a queen, and she will treat you like a king. Sounds reasonable, right? But reality is the complete opposite. Men think that if they shower a woman with absolute worship, buying gifts, giving endless compliments, putting her above everything, she will love them more. But no. Instead of appreciating it, women lose interest. They see the weakness behind this behavior. Why? Because attraction doesn't come from worship. It comes from respect. And respect cannot exist when you place someone above yourself. Women don't want a guy who kneels, ready to do anything to please them. They want a man with standards, a man with his own life, and a man who isn't afraid to lose them. If you give too much without control, you don't make her feel special. You make her feel like you're cheap. A man who understands his worth won't throw everything away just to please a woman. He won't sacrifice all his time, energy, and money chasing someone who doesn't respect him. He knows that real attraction comes from building a valuable life, not from kneeling at someone's feet. So, what's the solution? First, stop excessively flattering women. If you compliment, do it sincerely, not just to win her over. Second, have a life of your own. A man with passion, goals, and interests outside of love will always be more attractive than someone who clings to a woman. And finally, set boundaries. If a woman disrespects you, call it out. If she takes advantage of you, walk away. Women aren't looking for a servant. They're looking for a man they can respect. And that respect can't exist if you make yourself submissive from the start. If this video made you think, hit like now. Comment below. How have you applied Stoicism in your life? Stoic success, unbreakable mindset, total control. Here's a truth no one wants to admit. Women don't actually want to control the relationship. They might test the limits, they might push boundaries, but deep down, they don't really want to carry the burden of leadership. They want a man who is strong enough to lead, not someone who constantly asks, "What do you want?" What should I do? Too many men fear conflict so much that they let women make all the decisions. Where to go, what to do, who to meet. Everything revolves around her. They believe that by always giving in, by avoiding arguments, she will love them more. But the reality is the complete opposite. The more you let a woman take control, the less respect she has for you. Women, by nature, will test you. They want to see if you can stand firm. If they sense weakness, they will push further. Not because they're bad, but because they need to know if you're the kind of man they can trust. A man who can't control himself, who can't lead, will never create a sense of security. And without that security, attraction dies. So what should you do? Lead, don't submit. This doesn't mean controlling or dominating a woman. It means having direction, making decisions, and standing firm, even when there's conflict. When she asks, "Where do you want to eat?" don't say, "Whatever you like." Make a choice. When she tests you with cold behavior or emotional games, don't crumble. Don't rush to please her. Attractive men aren't afraid to upset people. They don't fear conflict. They don't need approval to feel valuable. They have their own path, and if a woman wants to join them, great. If not, they keep moving forward. Women don't want a man who always bends to their will. They want a man who can stand firm, who can lead. If you don't lead, you will be led. And when you let a woman control the relationship, you don't just lose power, you lose respect, attraction, and eventually you lose her. One of the biggest mistakes men make in relationships is fearing the loss of a woman. They tolerate disrespect, manipulation, even betrayal, just because they can't face the thought of losing her. They would rather settle for misery than accept the truth that a relationship is already dead. But here's the paradox. The man who fears losing a woman the least is the one who keeps her the longest. Why? Because he stays because he wants to, not because he needs to. He isn't bound by fear, but by choice, and women can sense that. Men who fear walking away often make excuses. She'll change. I can't find anyone better. Every relationship has problems. But what's the truth? You're clinging to something that no longer holds value, just because you're afraid. And when you let fear control you, you lose your power. You show her that you need her more than she needs you. And once that balance is broken, attraction dies. So what should you do? First, know when to leave. If a woman disrespects you, no longer cares about you, or constantly tests you with toxic mind games, walk away without hesitation. A man of value doesn't beg for love. He doesn't negotiate respect. Second, don't announce, just act. When a strong man leaves, he doesn't make a scene, doesn't threaten, doesn't try to make her feel guilty. He simply disappears, as if he was never tied down to begin with. Finally, don't look back. Don't check if she texted. Don't stalk her social media. Don't wait for her regret. If you've decided to leave, leave like a man. The man who isn't afraid to lose a woman is the man a woman doesn't want to lose. Because he not only values himself above the relationship, he understands that a woman is not his entire life. If she leaves, he keeps moving forward. Because his life doesn't revolve around her. And that makes him irreplaceable. Nothing kills attraction faster than a man who lacks consistency. Women can accept a man who isn't successful yet, but they can't respect a man who says one thing in the morning and does the opposite by night. If you're not consistent, you're not trustworthy. If you're not trustworthy, you can't be attractive. Imagine this. You meet a woman and tell her you have standards, you have principles, but then, out of fear of losing her, you break those very principles. You tolerate things you once said you'd never accept. You claim to be busy with your goals, but the moment she calls, you drop everything to chase after her. You say you don't tolerate disrespect, but the second she tests you, you backtrack on your words. Women pick up on this faster than you think, and once they see your inconsistency, they stop believing anything you say. If you don't even respect your own principles, how can you expect them to respect you? The solution is simple. Define your personal values and stand by them. If you say you won't tolerate something, hold that line, even if it means losing a woman. If you have goals, pursue them instead of adjusting your life to please someone else. If you make a promise, follow through. A trustworthy man is one who says what he means and means what he says, not someone who bends with the wind. This doesn't mean you can't change or grow, but that change should come from within you, not because you're trying to please someone else. A strong man doesn't need to prove himself. He simply lives in alignment with who he is, and that alone commands respect. Women aren't looking for perfection. They're looking for a man who is consistent, reliable, and firmly rooted in his values. If you can't hold your ground, you'll be swept away by the desires of others. And when that happens, you don't just lose attraction, you lose yourself. A man's attractiveness isn't just about what he does, but more importantly, what he refuses to do. A man loses a woman's respect when he begs for validation, worships women, lets them take control, fears losing them, or is inconsistent with himself. Every one of these behaviors signals weakness, and nothing kills attraction faster than that. On the other hand, a truly attractive man doesn't seek approval, sets the standards instead of following them, leads instead of submitting, is willing to walk away when necessary, and remains unwavering in his identity. This isn't a tactic to manipulate women. It's a way to become a strong, respectable man. You can keep doing things that lower your value, or you can become the man women admire, men respect, and you yourself are proud of. The choice is yours. Thank you for being here. If you found this video helpful, subscribe, turn on notifications, and like this video. Don't forget to leave a comment so we can spread positivity together.